of how he played, he is going to hit you with down 4 into ground eruption. All right, you probably can set a counter in the top left of your screen or whatever to how many down 4 ground eruptions if he gets the chance. Mirko, I feel like Mirko probably has this matchup specifically in his mind so much because of the numerous Shang Tsungs that exist in the Open series. You know, there's Disarded and there's Arn Kratos, right?
Yeah, and there's been a few others just here and there, so definitely a matchup that you're going to have to know very well. And already Mirko taking progress to the corner, but we do see the variation name down 4 into Sparks, which is definitely something that brings up some very unpleasant memories for me during the MKX days. If anybody's familiar with Shinnok, you can still see a little bit of a throwback to his head in the I don't actually know what that level's called, but that temple.
It's it's like Shinnok's temple. They specifically took it over with Melina and them being revenants. So Shinnok's head is in the background. It's used as the power source for the tower.
Well, you know what? There are some fates worse than death, as Rin says. But here we go. Some corner pressure coming in from Progress. And because of the, well, I don't want to say the lack of, but because of the choice to use the ground eruption rather than the lift, there are some very different combos than you may be used to seeing. If you're more used to seeing Disarded, it's just going to be a lot of jab, 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 1-1-4 into slide. And a great first round from Progress. Great way to, like I said, start off making a statement.
Yeah, I mean, Progress already had to fight some of the best opponents here for the Open Series just to get here in the first place, so definitely not a huge surprise to see going toe-to-toe even with one of our best.
Yeah, and I mean, win or lose, it's already quite an accomplishment just to be here, but here we go. He's going to try to take the corner back. Mirko, though, fighting out. Such good usage of the jab strings, both 1-1 and 2-1 out of Scorpion, both of course being plus on block. They are highs, so you have to make your opponent respect them first. Use a lot of forward 3 for that. But I mean, when you're fighting against Mirko, it's hard not to respect him. It's scary to try to disrespect something like that.
That's really interesting. The way Mirko plays sometimes is, you know, at the very beginning you see him like be super aggressive, kind of like this right now, and then when things start to change up in the middle of the site, you see a weird patience come out. And he usually tries to catch you off guard, but there's the crushing blow. Gonna get good damage off this. No offensive bar for the Amplify. So, I mean, you know, Progress is probably gonna thank the stars for that one as he tries to go for the forward 2 string.
Yeah, that would have maybe been it had there even been one barb. Now, at least Progress is going to have another chance. Nice. I don't even know if that was a flawless block in the jump 3, but we did see the reversal throw and forward 4 into the chainsaw to catch out of the air. That was a very, very weird way for that to end, but hey, it works, and good knowledge of using that interactable right there. Probably going to make it a little bit safer to try to go for that low, and I bet that would catch the flawless block attempt on the forward 4-2 that we usually see from players comfortable fighting Scorpion. And Progress, after taking a strong first round, just wasn't quite able to take any of the other 2, but definitely is in there, you know. We can at least see that it's going to be a competitive match.
Yeah, if the first round was any indication at all, it very clearly speaks to Progress's skill. The second round was a lot more in Mirko's favor, but then the third round, it started kind of being like a little bit of a fight back. Obviously, the very start of the third round was hugely detrimental for Progress. He lost about 80% of his life real quick before he was able to do anything to Mirko, but regardless of that fact, it seems like he kept his composure and tried to fight back. It's just Mirko, obviously, you talked about the trying to hopefully catch the flawless block with the jump 4 into chainsaw, you know, trying to see if he could stop the string, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, if it hits, it hits. It's just like a win-win. You're like, you know, we take those is the classic line. So
absolutely.
You know, if the forward 4 anti-airs, then yeah, we take those. But oh, instant jump kick to start off the round. Interesting choice. And we do see yeah, I guess it's the down 4. It's really hard to tell what's down 4 and what's back 3 out of Shang Tsung. Both of the lows look super similar, and seeing down 4 into the ground eruption is a lot rarer than back 3 because well, you know what, you were talking
you gotta
about
watch out for the spear. You have to watch out for the spear because he does have burning spear, right? So that's gonna do even more damage, and he's already got the offensive bar obviously because it's only the start of the match, so he's going to be doing a ton of damage if he was able to get a full screen spear because crushing blow was available. But there we go, we're gonna get some life back here for Progress. She's got the forward 2 string going, plus frames here.
Oh yeah.
Jump over.
Oh. Wow, well, that was weird. That looked like was that a jump forward or was that a jump back?
It was a neutral jump. It was a neutral jump. Because he hit forward 2, the neutral jump actually just jumped above it, and there's the forward momentum on the forward 2, right? So he just kind of stole the corner because of it.
Right, but if it was a neutral jump, wouldn't it have launched from a neutral jump? No, wait, I'm sorry. That's not the right game. Oh my gosh, I was playing Mortal Kombat 9 last night. Believe it or not, everybody. This is not how this game works. Oh my gosh. I miss Mortal Kombat 9. Anyway, yeah, that was absolutely a neutral jump, and the grab is going to even things up. Oh, okay.
I
So
didn't
this
even
actually
see the escape failed earlier.
Me neither. I was too busy thinking this is Mortal Kombat 9. Look, this is going to be a bleed till almost the end of his life. It just needs one more hit, and the teleport anti-air is going to be hit.
That was a beautiful teleport. I don't know if he did that specifically in response reaction to the jump, but you know, I mean, having to deal with an air-to-air versus Shang Tsung can be a little bit annoying with his jumping 3, right? So it's oh, crushing blow. Yeah, and he's got meter this time.
Oh, now that I think is honestly almost a bait to make you spend your meter. He launches you so late into that combo that if you break away, I think honestly Mirko is happy with that. Like maybe even more so than if you hadn't broken away, because the amount of damage he was going to get post the launch right there was not going to be a huge amount. So I think he's feeling pretty good about that. But overall, the life's still pretty even, and the jump back. We've seen some really good defensive jumps out of Mirko so far. Now he's just going to need one more hit.
Yeah, the defense is definitely the name of the game for Mirko. Like, obviously the offensive pressure is really scary with the overheads, but because of his defensive decisions, that has gotten him into the offensive situations that we're talking about. If he was unable to get that jump back into, you know, jump back 2, if he was unable to get the teleport after the air-to-air situation, right, he probably wouldn't have been in those positions to mount that offensive pressure. And so because of those things, that's what basically netted him all that damage. Defense is super important, and it will get you farther and farther than a lot of you might think at the very beginning of your start with most fighting games.
Yeah, I still can't believe that immediately off the bat today, I was like, why didn't the neutral jump punch launch? That's still like the weirdest thing to come into my head. So I'm going to laugh about that for the rest of today. But yeah, that was so good. And usually you don't see a lot of like these neutral jumps in defensive options, but I think that Mirko just knows the Shang Tsung is well, I guess you should say the Shang Tsung pressure tends to move forward quite a bit with moves like back 1-1 or forward 2 into whatever, and so neutral jumps are a really good way of catching that forward movement, and so far it's worked quite a bit. But I mean, Mirko's defense is just so good always. We've seen him go up against a lot of like the Jackie players and just block for forever. It just feels like forever, and then finally finding always the perfect moment. And again, we can see that was a neutral jump or a jump back. I can barely see because we were just getting into the game, but it's a good call, and it was blocked. But again, start off that offense.
Yeah, the grabs have been incredibly successful so far for Mirko. And again, just as I say, I think he's found like a defensive issue for Progress, and he's just kind of exploiting it as much as possible, right? The two big issues so far has been throw and the overhead from Scorpion. Those have been pretty much the strongest mix-up tools. Yeah, see, again, another throw, and it's pretty much always been forward throw, never back.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be fair, at least the overhead in particular. I mean, the throw is going to be good just because you have to respect how good the neutral is with the overhead. It's very fast. It goes over the down 4 and the back 3, which of course, I mean, you can see Progress. His variation name is down 4 in his spark, so he's going to want to press down 4, but back 3 is going to make that just so much of a scarier option. You know, if he'd done it right there, it would have gone right over it, but not going to matter. Match point, Mirko.
Yeah, that was a great duck right there under the standing one. Mirko, again, defensive decisions are just on point, completely like disallowing Progress to even get an offensive momentum started. Like that first round was enough of a tell for Mirko to know that like he never wants that to happen again, right? Like the very first round of this set.
Yeah. Oh, and the 2-1-2 crushing blow. Always going to cash out on that when he can in those final or I guess in the final moments, in the final round. It does, of course, a ton of bleed damage. I think almost every crushing blow that Scorpion has unique to him does a ton of damage over time afterwards. But Progress still in this. Going to land a few hits. Just hasn't been able to really get any of the zoning game going. It's a little too scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you got that teleport going, teleport cancel and everything like that, plus the spear, just huge damage from Scorpion, even without the burning spear, but Fatal Blow comes out. This is your final moments. You got to bring it out now.
Yeah, it's not a really particularly good fatal blow, but you can use it in surprise situations. And here we go, gets one little hit. Forward two into super kick actually would have connected right there. We haven't seen that really come out at all either. I'll talk about that later maybe, but there we go, conversion. Oh, just needs one more hit, but then neutral jump again. He went to it so many times and he knew that it was going to be the option.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing the adaptations here, because he just went straight to Cabal, right? Like there was no Jade option in his mind. It was bing bang boom right on Cabal, when despite the fact that that matchup did not go so well for him in grand finals and in the upper bracket.
Yeah, and let's remember that this isn't like we're like, oh yeah, last week this happened. This was like 3 days ago. So this is a very, very recent matchup that we saw, and so the adaptations are going to be pretty fresh in their mind. But so far, Mirko, again, looking pretty defensive. You know, he's just walking back, trying to get outside of this normal range that Cabal is usually so oppressive in. But okay, set up the spirit. Yep, just the walk back. Here it is again.
Yeah, and then just, when am I going to do teleport? Is it going to be the teleport cancel that time? You never know.
Yeah, I can't believe he just did raw teleport. That was a really weird choice, but it worked. I'm surprised he didn't at least amplify it if that was the attempt. Maybe he tried to cancel and messed up, but it worked.
No, dude, I swear, in 3 days ago, he did raw teleport like beautifully almost every time. And oh my goodness, look at the patience.
Oh no. Okay, he's not going to spend the crushing blow, which is smart. We've actually seen how that can negatively affect you later on. But fatal blow now for Dubasic, just needs one more hit. This is staying pretty even.
I think Dubasic is matching the patience is the idea here.
Yeah, that last match that we saw was so active between K-Top and Asadamata, and this one is so slow and patient. All right, the grab, there's only 5 seconds left. I don't think this is enough. There's going to be one more hit. The down 4 is going to do it. That was very close to getting to time in a matchup where neither of these characters usually you expect to really go to time.
No, this is like one very high damage variation Cabal, and then it's Scorpion, so he's already doing a ton of damage, and he's got the mix-up ready. But the flawless block, okay.
Oh, and he's spending all the bar on this. That was a really interesting way to end it. That was actually really cool. It was clearly intentional, but just not one that I expected to work, but that's cool.
Yeah, just a bit too far away for any normal enter. Again, the armor break, and again, do not spend the crushing blow to have it for just a bit later.
I'm actually surprised he didn't spend it there, because that would have been a lot of damage in this final potential round, and it is definitely the final round now, as we can see. He did not end up spending it, which still leads me to believe that maybe that was the time, but he just clearly didn't need it, and so already looking a lot more comfortable than he was in the, I guess you could say, the upper bracket finals of last week, which is 2 sets ago. Regardless, the fact that he took a game already looking good.
Yeah, I think matching the patience from Mirko is really important, because when Mirko was being patient 3 days ago, it was getting a lot of mileage out of the fact that Dubasic was not being privy to the fact that he was being patient and just reacting to whatever Dubasic would go to, right? So when he would get impatient and he would start to come at Mirko, that was exactly what Mirko wanted in all avenues. And you would notice that he would react to everything with a teleport. He would be able to catch him with any sort of mix-up because he would like try to walk forward and he would then down back or something like that, right? It would be just all in Mirko's favor because he got impatient. But this entire time you saw Dubasic was willing to just wait. He would walk up, shimmy, back up, nothing would happen, and he'd be completely content with absolutely nothing happening as long as it meant that he didn't take any of the risk.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the fact that he knows that he is going to be able to get so much damage. And so the opportunities that he did find, he cashed out on them completely. Luckily, we haven't seen those drops that we saw earlier in the day. And that's it that he did manage to still win, but it looks like he's a little bit more warmed up. Whoa! Oh, big weird whiffs from both players. I mean, the down 2 was obviously a clear read, but I'm not sure why we saw the standing 3. That was clearly in some sort of misinput, speaking of execution errors. But could have got a lot more damage there.
Okay. Throw is teched here, so that's going to be, yeah, free burning spear off the forward 3-4, which is really important for Mirko's damage. But here it is. Okay, so when is the teleport coming and what is it going to be? It was actually going to be the standing 4, but unfortunately not at the right spacing.
Oh yeah, and this is a scary position being in the corner here, but Mirko knowing exactly how to fight out, and just by the nature of this matchup, I feel like the corner means very little, considering how many tools both characters have to get out. Great conversion. Is he going to spin the bar? He is. The breakaway a little bit late.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the previous set, too, that Mirko was completely willing to walk himself into the corner because he is Scorpion, right? He can just teleport out. But that's not going to matter at this point. Teleporting out is not going to be effective if you cannot get out of Dubasic's pressure, which we know to be the bread and butter, you know? Like, sure, he's being patient this entire time, but it's being patient into the position of being able to get to that spot where Dubasic is normally at his strongest.
Yeah, and I mean, especially in this matchup, in this variation matchup too, it's so scary to spend a teleport cancel nice, but because you use all of your defensive bar, which means that you just cannot break. And okay, speaking of breaking, there we go. You see how important it was there.
And no defensive bar for either player now.
Defense is for chumps. It's all about combos.
I mean, if you look at these two characters, you would think that, right?
I know. Oh, great conversion, and this is going to be big damage in the corner. Speaking of big combos, big knockdown. Fatal Blow is still available. Maybe just one more hit can confirm the win for Dubasic, but he's going to have to find it first.
It's going to have to be a very important hit. He can't allow it to scale before the Fatal Blow's activation, but here's the mix-up pressure, and he has been staggering so much, and because Dubasic is taking chip damage on the normals and has so little health, it becomes scary, and he wants to jump out, which was exactly what Mirko was preying upon.
Yeah, 2-1 into 1-1 as a cool little like anti-jump out conversion. That was pretty sick out of Mirko, but raw teleport again. I don't know how he's so confident and good at landing those. That's scary.
Well, I feel like, honestly, it's legit. It seems like okay, up until that moment, I thought for sure it was all reaction. and then that happened.
Yeah, well, regardless, some unsafe stuff coming out from both players, some big risks as it's getting a little bit later into this set. And finally, the low for the first time, but doesn't have the meter to convert off of it. At the very least, gets the corner. It is going to be a little bit more difficult for Cabal to get out of the corner against Scorpion than it is for Scorpion to get out against Cabal. At the very minimum, you can try to maybe bait it with a teleport, but yet again, we see Scorpion in the corner. Has the defensive bar if he wants to try to teleport cancel out. Oh, Wisp, you need to cancel that super late, otherwise the teleport goes under just like it did. What?
Let's see.
That was such a weird risk. I don't know what he was trying to catch there. Maybe that was an execution error. Maybe he was going for a forward 4, but raw jump 2 into raw nomad dash was a weird choice, and that's going to let Mirko tie things up.
I feel like that's actually like a common input issue if it's like, because like when it's like down forward or down back attack specifically, you usually get that a lot when you're trying to like do a jump in and then you try to do like a back 4 or a forward 4, right? And then you get your down back one instead.
Yeah, I don't actually know exactly what he could have been going for there. Also, did I just do another Mortal Kombat 9 thing again? I think it's back forward 3 is the Nomad Dash in this game, right? I don't know what happened. I played Mortal Kombat 9 for like 1 hour last night, and my entire brain reverted to 10 years ago. Like, I can remember every single character's being beat in that game, and I can't even remember inputs in this game anymore. That is wild. But regardless, yeah, I still think that was probably maybe an input error or some sort of just absolutely wild read, and whatever it was, it did not work out. And so we are going to still see the return to the same Cabal, same variation of Cabal. I don't think we're going to see any move switches. I think if we do see a switch, it's going to be to Jade. However, I think it's pretty smart to commit to the Cabal at this point because it's looking as close as it can be.
If we saw a move switch, I think it'd be closer on Mirko's side, to be honest. It'd be very specifically like you would take away maybe Burning Spear and you would replace it with something else, but I don't know. Oh, great breakaway at the time right there. It's going to be able to stop the Nomad Dash.
All right, and the grabs that really haven't been coming out all that much from Mirko, but one thing that he loves to do is switch around how much he grabs and how much he pressures during the set. So he's already conditioned you, and he takes advantage of it.
He feels like a very unpredictable player on offense. It's, I mean, it's obviously one of the really important strengths, but oh! Okay, well, it wasn't Crushing Blow, so that was really lucky for Dubasic, but that will be.
Oh, no conversion at all. Didn't want to lose the corner there, so he's just going to let it go. But not going to matter. He's going to get the corner back, I guess, technically, but he's going to lose the round for it. And yeah, a lot of Crushing Blows gone now, too. I actually thought that Spear was going to be a Crushing Blow earlier, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. Ooh.
Well, slight gas, full conversion here is going to get the corner back. And that's going to even up the life totals, but the instant jumping kick.
Yeah, that was a very late slight gas to start off that whole exchange. I love that he like jumps back all the way right before he lands. Suddenly, it's almost like it's a ground dash, and yeah, great reversal.
That's one of those just like I've played against Scorpion flawless blocks, right?
Ooh, nice. Again, that was like not even necessary, but he went for one of the furthest like wall carry options to end that, just because he's so ready for, oh yeah, I'm about to win. They're restanded. I know exactly how much life they have. I'm going to go as far as I possibly can to get that corner advantage. But oh, here we go. This is looking a lot more like the first set that they had.
Well, he hasn't had a chance to go to like the patient walk back, right? And that's one of the things that I was wondering if maybe the no man's dash was trying to bait out, was like him walking back, because you notice when he's walking back, he's not like walking back and guarding. He's just kind of like stepping back.
Yeah, it's true. That's probably why we saw the nomad dashes, but it's just like, it's a little bit slow. And I think against Mirko, who was shown that he's literally probably one of the best at reactions in the entire game, you don't want to try to test that, right? That's something unsafe too, like nomad dash.
Got the corner pressure. Okay, so yeah, that instant jump kick has been paying off so much for Mirko. I can't blame him for going for it, especially if you can whiff cancel it, right? But there's the back throw, and that's gonna do it there for Mirko. 2-1 now. We may be seeing a game 5. I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, I mean, if they go back and forth like they have been, then it's definitely a game 5 situation. But I love that choice at the end there. I just want to talk about it a little bit. Going for the back throw, just because even when you're in like a life or death situation like that, where either throw is going to kill, oftentimes when you're in the corner, you don't really have a lot of time to like intentionally make a decision about which direction you tech. And so naturally, often you're going to want to tech the throw that would throw you into the corner, because if you get out of the corner, you're like, okay, I took a throw, but I'm out of the corner. However, that situation, obviously, you die either way, and there just might not have been enough time to say, okay, let's make this choice, let's be intentional. It's literally like a few frames, so good call by Mirko on how to end that. But we're going to see the Cabal again. It's like he's hanging here a little bit. I think I'd like to see the Cabal again, personally.
It's definitely not doing terrible. I can say that for sure. It's not like when, because remember when he switched to Jade, it was still, he was running into that issue of Mirko's patience before, and now it doesn't seem like the case. Mirko hasn't really been able to go to that game plan super often anymore. And I mean, like at the very end of that last round, sure, he was able to bring it back, right? But okay, so it is Cabal. We are sticking with the Cabal.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, like you said, the Jade and the Cabal last week were both looking a little bit, I don't want to say like lost, but it was not a comfortable situation for him to be in either way. Just Mirko was controlling the pace, but the Cabal this time I think is looking a lot better. He's able to stick on him a lot more. Like that last game was the first time that we really saw that like backdash, 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 like wave backdashing, and as long as things don't really get out of control like that last match, just at the end, I think he'll be doing okay here, and he can bring it to a game 5.
Hard to not be out of control when Scorpion's staring you down in the face. I feel like.
I know, especially Mirko's. I mean, Mirko making this character look so good. Big jump kick, but yeah, that was super early of a jump kick. Plus, I think it was flawless block, so it's probably punishing the down one. Hard to see.
Oh, gonna get that amplify right there. Oh, wow, okay. He tried to down to it. He tried.
Went for the anti-breakaway read right there. You're not going to be able to really stop breakaways with your armor breaker with Scorpions. Back 3, still one of the slowest armor breakers in the entire game, and often they can just break by themselves. But went for the down 2, and that's a big conversion. I have zero call whether it's going to kill or not.
I think he's dead.
It's close. All right, it's definitely enough. Yeah, that was more than I thought it would be. That was still quite a few hits before that for it to do that much damage, but I think it did just barely kill. However, Jubasic fully well knowing how much damage a combo is going to do. Otherwise, that would have been a tough cash out because he was pretty low too, and that does not give you Oki. Oh, but finally catches one of those teleports unblocked, and here we go. Big combo.
Too slow.
I mean, wow, look at like 40% of your life.
I know, for one bar too. He didn't even have the second bar, I don't think.
now he's stuck in the corner at this point. Oh, but the instant jump over. Interesting. Guess he just wasn't ready for the option right there. Basic is now finding himself in the corner versus Mirko. And there's the low.
Oh, and there's the overhead. And
oh, no.
This should be it if he spins a bar. Oh, he built the bar just a little bit too slow. I think he actually could have gone for Spear at the end there and closed that out, but at least he's confident in this corner, keeps him there. Now it's match point for Mirko.
Yeah, well, now he has both bars, right? So I think that kind of ends up being like really big because he can go into this just as strong as Basic. And I mean, if he's able to find his way out of this corner, especially with the down ones. Oh, but the pressure.
Oh, good patience on defense, though. And the forward 4 into Spear. Again, that's a read to try to call out a flawless block. But if the forward 4 hits, then it's just a win-win situation, and you take those. But didn't get a whole lot of damage out of it. And now Basic is going to control this corner. Is that the back throw? No, that's the forward throw. It's really hard to tell with Cabal.
I'm pretty sure the forward throw is always that spin, and then the back throw is one where he does the run, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
and then he slams you. Oh, big... Oh. No defensive bar. This is going to be a ton of damage into another crushing blow, double crushing blow. That is altogether about 500 damage, including this damage over time at the end. And now he just needs one more solid hit. Any clean hit.
There's the throw escape too. That's going to make it really hard for Basic. Try to use the slight glass. Another throw escape. He just knows which one it is. Teleport's coming out and he's got a last breath. That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
He had no other way to be defensive after that. He used all of his bar to try and save himself. And Mirko did not get Sweat Rock. I'm gonna let this into a rock.
Kronika can restore your family and clan.
The son's the one who killed them.
But first, you must renounce your vengeance.
Round 1.
All right,
I like how she just completely like ignores what he said.
I appreciate it though. Any opportunity to talk trash about Shinnok, I'm always about that. Let me just tell you. So I feel that Scorpion for sure. But here we go. Immediately starting off with aggression actually from Mirko. And now with the life lead, I think there's a chance. Oh, the jump back though. That is going to be a nice little conversion as the damage adds up a lot more quickly with that burning spear.
Oh, okay. Just immediately looking for probably a boulder toss or an earthquake here after the knockdown. But Asadamasa, just not a lot of life to work with right now.
Yeah, this is a lot of patience just sitting here waiting to see if Mirko tries to make a mistake, or tries to make a read that is a mistake. Oh, nice. Lands the natural barrier hit. You're just going to need to do so much damage to make this comeback without guessing wrong even once, and that's going to be the one. So technically, Asadamasa could have broken away there. You can always break away against Amp Teleport. He would have lived, but he would have been down with 0 defensive bar on the ground, guaranteed chip kill, so he knew. A very smart call.
Yeah. It's that patience that just comes right back into play the second somebody wants to be patient, because like you notice that Asadamasa was just like sitting down specifically oh man, the down 2. I was gonna say that he was sitting down specifically to avoid teleport situations, because you cannot hit a ton of projectiles as this character when Scorpion's on screen, but it just, if you start to be patient, then the Scorpion player will just kind of like either take the chip damage or they'll just be patient right back, and you're still at a disadvantage that entire time. You're hard pressed to find a moment where like you can make a good choice.
Yeah, you said like one thing in that second round and the round was already over. Like we didn't even get a chance to see anything out of Asadamasa that round. But I mean, okay, it was looking like at least the pacing felt a little bit better for Asadamasa in the first round. But yeah, the second one, it was just over. So Asadamasa needs to make some sort of adaptation here. It just seems tough. You know, it just seems like the way that, I mean, you know, it's so hard to ever say like, oh yeah, like that's tough for Setron in particular, but with how Mirko plays and how good his reactions are, it just feels like anything you do, I mean, really with any character, but especially with any zoner, is just the biggest risk in the entire world. And he really makes you feel that, especially I mean, I love the fact that he's using Burning Spear. It just adds on to that damage, and the fact that he loves to run away so much, well, I don't even know if I want to say run away, but he likes to create space so much, means that he gives himself time to set it up. Oh my god, what was that whiff punish to start off? with. He just did backdash, forward dash, back two to whip punish like a down three or something. That was, Mirko was just too good.
That was one of the reasons why the first round was like, Asadamase had lost 80% of his life so quick. There was like, I think it took 30 seconds and he was almost dead in the very first round of the first game. And it was a very similar situation. You just kind of get one really strong read and, you know, you get the burning spear up and your life bar is just melting.
Yeah. Oh, down one. Weird pressure. Back one, down one. All negative on block, but doesn't matter. You're only negative if you think you're negative.
You're always plus if you believe.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way. But we did see an escape failed right here, so the throw is now going to be that much scarier. Fatal blow also available for Mirko. Not something that we usually see, but it is actually quite a good fatal blow. You just need one big conversion into it, and it could be it. Actually, could have maybe even done it right there, but didn't have the confidence. You usually do back two into teleport, and then you can confirm on whether it hits or not, and then cancel or don't cancel. But that might be chip. That will be chip. And Asadamase manages to bring it back.
It's pretty much just flawless blocking from there on, but nothing you can really do about that.
Oh, that was a clear mistake. That was super unsafe. The 1-1-4, and the punish didn't come out. Just a raw teleport. Maybe he tried to punish a little bit too fast. The normal didn't come out. Just the special did. Regardless, gets another opportunity.
Okay. Oh, ducks under the down two. He's going to be able to get a conversion off of that. There's the overhead. Now he's already got Asadamase stuck in the corner. Either jump out Hell's Wrath or H2O port's coming very soon, I feel like.
It has to be something. I mean, just getting hit here is not the answer. Gets hit by the overhead. That's usually the mix-up. It's going to be overhead or grab. Very rarely do you go to the low there, but didn't even need to. Played for the safer option just because he had such a life lead, probably. Didn't need to take that extra risk, and it did pay off.
Well, at the very least, Asadamase is going to be able to get the corner switch, but that never matters versus Scorpion.
I know. I mean, it seemed like it mattered a little bit more earlier against Basic just because of the damage potential, but your breakaway is not going to mean all that much, nor your defensive meter against Cetron, unless you're like in danger of being chipped, which is not the situation. But this is actually a time where breakaway matters, right as I said it, the down 2 KB, and we do see the breakaway immediately.
I mean, this is maybe the very first time that Asadamase has like had a very clear life lead. Obviously taking the round earlier, but this is like emphatic.
Yeah, and took advantage of it extremely well immediately as it happened. And after, honestly, it felt like until that final round, it felt like Mirko was in 100% control of everything. And then suddenly, Asadamase just turned it on. I mean, that was like pretty one sided the other direction. And I couldn't even tell you why. It was just correct reads.
Versus like a Scorpion where his reactions are completely on point, you might have to only go towards reads, because if you try to do something like in attempts to zone him out, he's just gonna teleport it. He's gonna do something on reaction. He's gonna use the spear. He's gonna teleport, etc. Right? So like going for the read when you are at even life totals, or at least the life lead, might be one of the only ways you're getting damage on Mirko here.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know that just from previous matches that Asadamase is very comfortable actually playing the pressure game. So if he can start the pressure game, you know he's going to want to. It's one of the only ways that you can guaranteed control Scorpion, just because you can guaranteed control anybody once you get that game started with Cetrion. And then the teleport's not going to matter. It's not like the teleport has any like invincibilities it's starting up or anything like that. You're just going to have to make the right guesses. So I think we're going to see a pretty offensive game as soon as the situation arises, especially seeing how well it worked out in the previous one. But it's nice to see that this isn't going to be a wash, as we're going to go 1-1 and start off with a beautiful anti-air conversion into, like I said, the pressure game.
Well, 4-3-4 is going to say nothing about the trick. Interactable jump over and then teleport to cancel it out. Another teleport. While there's no defensive bar, Mirko kind of put himself in a strong offensive position, and despite the corner, he's still going to keep that.
Yeah, so this is kind of like just a little fun fact, but using those interactables does have invincibility, and you can use them to get instant punishes on gaps with characters that have teleports like Scorpion. So I'm sure Mirko's going to know exactly how to do that, and it's going to be a very scary option if you leave even a single gap, which oftentimes String into Tornado does have.
Oh, nice punish on that, though. It's going to get the restand, so the mix is mid.
Asadamase just backing up. gets the conversion, gets everything, the pressure, one more mix up in the grab. You can tell that there was a tech. The escape was failed, and Mirko usually so good at guessing those grabs, but when you play against somebody that you've played against so many times, like Acid Matza, clearly they're gonna have the knowledge of which way you like to tech, and big KB.
Yeah, you know, this is maybe one of the first few times that I've gotten the pleasure of watching Mirko and not seen him make 100% correct defensive decisions.
Yeah, I mean, again, it has probably so much to do with just the fact that these two have played against each other, so Acid Matza knows. But yeah, it's wild how against everybody else, Mirko is just this impossible to open player. But not this time. Acid Matza just, okay, actually in Fatal Blow territory now, which is going to be huge. Acid Matza one of the best at converting into Fatal Blow. Just needs one solid little hit. You can tell he was fishing for it there with the jabs.
Yeah, those down ones were really making it real difficult for Acid Matza. He's on last breath at this point. He doesn't have the defensive bar to last breath, actually. So it's got to be all good decisions from here, and that one was great.
That was perfect. Yeah, he had to try something there just because, again, even a teleport at that point was going to be almost guaranteed chip. Any sort of normal, any sort of jump kick would have been so hard to avoid, but he made the read, went for teleport, which was a little bit of a unique option, and I think it kind of mixed up the inputs there of Mirko, who was jumping backwards already, whiffed the jump kick, and got 1-1'd into Fatal. But like I said, always, somehow, there's no Cetron that is better at finding the conversion into Fatal Blow in the final moments than Acid Matza, and he showed exactly why.
So I'm not entirely sure that that was mixing up the input, the teleport, because we had seen versus Dubasic, the instant jump kick was coming out a lot from Mirko, right? It was instant jump kick into immediate teleport because you can cancel it on whiff. I think what mixed up the input was probably it mixed up the teleport input. Maybe not the jump kicks, right?
Yeah,
right.
that's
maybe that's what you meant. Okay, that's what you meant. All right,
but no, but it's like.
Okay.
It's totally worth pointing out, though, yeah, because it is true. That is an option that we've seen a lot. It's just usually when you see him with it, at the very least, he's going to go for like a teleport cancel, right? But you can tell, like, for just that one moment, it was like, what's going on? And he just landed.
Which side am I on?
yeah, like he just 100% landed, which is something we almost never see when he does go for that option. But yeah, absolutely true that he uses that a lot.
It's a strong option. Like if the opponent jumps, they get full comboed. If nothing happens, then you're fine because you can teleport cancel as long as you have defensive bar. So
yeah, and even if not, you can still go for the raw teleport just to try to read them, trying to catch you on landing, which would have been actually something that worked right there. But regardless, Acid Matza 2-1 lead. Mirko is not looking phased at all, looking for gets an escape failed, which is very important for Scorpion, and gets the setup into Burning Spear buff.
How long will that Burning Spear last, though? Because it seems like Acid Matza is on the forefront of pressure, but there's the great teleport. Overhead's going to come out. Burning Spear's off, but, I mean, he's already got a life lead.
Yeah, Burning Spear actually lasts forever. Like, most of the buff type moves in this game don't last like half as long as that. I don't know why, but it's a good move. There's a reason why we see it. And again, every single time I have to point that out, he lands the spear, knows exactly how to get the absolute maximum corner carry to get the grounded kill, and that's what he does. And now look at this, taking advantage of the corner.
Ooh, okay, nice anti-air right there.
Yeah, and we've seen the conversions 100% from that exact situation into the exact same way that Acid Matza just did it. I mean, getting the life lead here, but again, you know, this is Acid Matza's win to move forward into the grand finals. And it would be the first time in a while that I think I've seen Acid Matza take the tournament win over Mirko, but he needs to close this round out, which is looking pretty likely at this point, and then he needs to win one more, so not easy.
Especially with this pressure right now. I mean, Mirko, he's got the pressure going, but like Acid Matza is staying nice and vigilant, not doing anything. And yeah, react. The spear, I was already ducking, so now I just know the easiest punish in the world. It's just Earthquake. And Acid Matza on set point here.
Yeah, like I said, you know, this has been a while, I think, since we've seen this nice, flawless block. But, oh, cash is out on the grab, of course. Final round, you might as well cash out on it, unless you're really trying to, like, set up the throw, like, loop mind game of using the other throw. But he just wants the damage, and here's a little bit of extra damage, speaking of. 164 off of the buff, and another crushing blow. Oh, everything is turning around here. This is looking tough for Asadamasa. All those crushing blows and spear buffs, everything together is just adding up.
So I think this happened last time. Is like Asadamasa is attempting to bait a teleport, and by whiffing normals, right, full screen, to make him think, oh, it's an earthquake or it's a boulder toss, right? And look at Mirko not being phased by it whatsoever, not a single teleport.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that seem like they have really good reactions, but they're just Twitch reactions. Oh, great anti-air. This could be the start of pressure. All right, he's going to block it. But yeah, they're just Twitch reactions to anything. So when you see somebody successfully not react to something that's a bait, you can tell that their reactions really just are too good. But here we go. Just needs to land one more hit to tie things up. However, Asadamasa, we've already talked about, so good at landing conversions into Fatal Blow. Just needs to find one hit, and that could set him up for a potential kill situation. He lands it, doesn't feel confident. Oh, that could have been a setup into a potential winning situation. Of course, that wouldn't have been the kill, but it would have been a lot of damage, and then full screen presence for zoning. Regardless, we're going to game 5.
Yeah, that pressure seemed like it would be considered to be very basic from Mirko. You know, it was just like standing one, down one, standing 1-2, you know, 2-1, whatever. It's real normal, real nothing too crazy, and that's all he needed because it was all doing chip damage, right? It was basically just eventually getting Asadamasa to want to press standing one, and eventually he did, but no belief in that. Just go standing one, down one, and there's no fatal blow cancel. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, had it been standing 1-1, that would have been so nice. But, you know, we see that a lot. Sometimes people just don't have like the full confidence, but maybe they should. And I mean, it was an interesting kind of like counter there, like just doing standing one into down one. Of course, the standing one's going to be plus, and the down one is going to be the check. But regardless, the read just did not work out. So we're going to a game 5, and it feels like Mirko has found a little bit more of an answer. It's a little hard to say, though, because that was such a good start of the last round with the double crushing blow and the searing, or not searing rage grab, the spear buff grab. But here we go. Let's see who comes out on top.
Oh, it actually caught him at a teleport. That was interesting. So yeah, Hell's Wrath just came out just before teleport was active. However, gonna get some good damage off this. Gonna go for Burning Spear or no? Now.
Yeah, just a little bit more pressure when you can. That is one of the nice things about Spear as an ender, is it does give you some pretty nice Oki. There we go. Yeah, he knows that he can't actually get Oki off the grab, so that's when he's going to set up the Burning Spear. And yeah, that did a lot of extra damage by itself. Teleport itself does a ton of damage. Breaks away immediately. No read on the breakaway this time.
Restand situation again. Just going to be the mid. He's already used the crushing blow too, so it's not really like a huge deal if that strength comes out. But there's the throw.
Ooh, just needs one conversion. Wasn't quite able to whiff punish the 4-3-4. Oh, is he at 0.01%? No, he's at 13.01%. Okay. But there's no buff. There's no buff. That's not enough.
Yeah, well, it's not the buff I'm worried about. Oh, well, it was the flawless block to save himself for one, but unfortunately not enough after that.
Yeah, that down 3 was a really good call right there. Of course, the Scorpion teleport is a high, so down 3 is going to stop it, and it gave him just enough hit advantage. Wow, just a standing one right there. Great attempt. That's a really good call because it is safe, but again, the big crushing blow, and that's going to be a lot of damage. This is match point for Asadamasa, so getting a good start like that is important for Mirko.
Yeah, it's pretty much you can't hold it. Like, you want to be able to hold those crushing blows back for when you hopefully take this round, but you can't always. You have to be able to get to the point of being able to take the round, which, despite this life lead, is not guaranteed right now.
Yeah, of course, on the other side, the 2-1-3 crushing blow, which is, I want to say, one of the only real practical crushing blows in this matchup, is already gone on Asadamasa's side. So at least spending your own crushing blows doesn't feel all that bad, especially when your damage is starting to add up like this. You take the quarterback, you get the knockdown. I don't know what Asadamasa does here. Dies?
Ooh. The short hop mix-up, but the throw here from Asadamasa, I mean, he had to back off, basically, because if his meaty wasn't perfect, he was going to die for it. Oh, another throw. He believed.
All right. This. Okay. I was gonna say I started to believe, and as soon as I started to believe, down one on Wake Up Works. So, very final round in the set to see who makes it into the upper side of the grand finals. Double, triple natural barrier from Acid Amatsu. The damage is gonna add up, but a big cash out already for Mirko.
Yeah, look at that damage tick down. None of that is chip. It's just happening naturally. And yeah, that teleport with the damage ticking down was going to be too much.
Well, so many raw natural barriers, and they're almost all connecting. I mean, Mirko does have the life lead. It looks like he's trying to go back and play a little bit more patient, but of course, yeah, ground pound is going to be a punish there for free, so he can't force any chip. Oh, but chooses to move in, gets the grab. He's going to get a little bit oaky because it's the forward grab.
Oh, the challenge here. Acid Amatsu just has no fear, like at all times. And I think that's so good because like he has no fear despite his life deficit when people would think that you would have fear. And so they're not expecting you to hit the buttons.
Oh, big conversion.
Again?
Misses the fatal blow opportunity. He's gonna be able to break away here. He gets one more read, but he's gonna have to make it correctly. Oh, and it's so close to chip, and it's gonna be it. Down one, trying to catch Acid Amatsu, trying to sneak out of the situation, maybe press a button.
No more on the ropes. I don't have that many chances. Gotta win 2 sets to basic to be able to put him into lower bracket and then be able to even have a chance at taking the tournament, right?
Yeah, like it's not difficult enough to just win 1 set against Dubasic. You have to win 2, but here, or sorry, against Mirko, Dubasic's the one who's gonna have to win 2. Regardless, that statement was still technically correct, however, not relevant to us at this time. So here we go. The Jade against the Scorpion, as we expect, green versus yellow. Ooh, that was cool. Down forwarding him out of the teleport. That was weird looking.
Okay, forward through again. Trying to use the interactable, get some space, you know.
The big Ritz cracker. Oh, just raw jump out of the corner. That's a good defensive option. Not easy against
up.
Jade though.
Oh, I like the decision. Yeah. So using the chance to just take both of their power-ups, right? But the problem is you talked about this earlier. Scorpion's power-up is far more effective at not only staying around longer, but it's going to do more in this particular matchup because Scorpion's not going to be dishing out far too many projectiles. It's just like Spear. That's it.
Yeah, it is literally just Spear, unless you take the projectile for his other thing. But nice conversion, and that's going to be the round. We almost never see fatal blows out of Mirko. The only time is when you do get into situations like that where he knows that he can 100% kill them. But when it comes into play, it's very, very important. But yeah, the spear buff also, it just adds so much damage to everything. I mean, again, it's for any move that's a spear move, which includes grabs, it includes most of his normals, it includes his teleport, it includes the spear itself, because he just hits you with spear so many times that you can see how much damage it adds as Dubasic already less than half life.
420 damage on that.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, Jade does at least have a normal amount of life. It's not going to be the Jackie syndrome, so there's that. But
that's true. Yeah. Oh, but another duck on the nitro kick. Good recognition there. We talk a lot about the defensive decisions and reaction times of Mirko, and that's another good example right there. Just like defensively deciding to stay ducking at such a far range, expecting the nitro kick.
Yeah, I mean, especially after seeing that last match, you can see how much he likes to get in with the nitro kick. It is a lot scarier, though, just because the option is there for the run to just continue and then to go for the mid of the staff flip. The staff, that's not the right name, but pole vault. There we go. Close enough. But yeah, the pole vault, of course, is a mid, which can catch you ducking, but the fact that he was still so far away meant that he was safely able to just know that he could neutral duck. And yeah, the punish was huge. The fact that he got up with the standing four meant that he knew exactly what he was waiting for. That was going to be the absolute maximum amount of damage. And then he's just cashed out completely, knowing that there was no defensive bar. All of it looks like Mirko's still just in control. And I have no idea how anybody can take him out of control at this point.
It definitely feels like it. It absolutely feels like it. He looks unstoppable. He's been looking unstoppable since a few days ago. If we do end up seeing these like top three in like another 3 days, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, it's also weird that it's just looking to be a repeat in the top 3, basically just overall, but the basic, he's got a chance. He's definitely not over yet.
Yeah, it's only been one game so far. Basic just gonna try and fight out. It's not like we're strangers to seeing Basic at least make an adaptation, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially all the players in the top 3 are very adaptation heavy players. Ooh, good patience.
Oh, but the block punish, yeah. Gonna immediately break her, and that's Basic still got the pressure going. Not a lot of life left here for Mirko. Oh, and the duck under the grab.
Do you want more?
Yeah, almost an unnecessarily good read. I mean, you have your opponent cornered and you still duck their grab, but hey, whatever. It's just shows some pretty good momentum, and Basic really needs that.
If you want to talk about unnecessary, if he had down 2'd that grab, that would have been unnecessary.
I mean, that would have been like actually unnecessary. That's such a good, infamously good crushing blow, of course, for Jade, having one of the best down 2s in the entire game, not only with huge vertical range but horizontal range. Normally, it's like the go-to move, but we actually don't see it a whole lot from Basic.
Yeah, KP actually has a variation called like down 2 sucks, please jump.
And of course, immediately we do see the down 2 crushing blow. After I was like, yeah, we don't see it all that often, but yeah, KP definitely going to be very familiar with the Jade down 2. Nice flawless block. That's going to be a big corner combo.
Okay, the 3. Oh. Yeah, full damage. It requires a breakaway because I'm pretty sure Fatal Blow would have killed. The Nitro Kick's gonna miss. That's huge. Oh, but he's able to duck under. Yes.
Wow, and yeah, Basic totally taking advantage of 100% correct reads against these grabs from Mirko. And all of these players have shown that they're extremely difficult to grab for whatever reason. You know, either they tech it or they duck it. But right now, Basic looking just to be at the absolute top of his game as far as that goes. And honestly, without those last 2 grabs, things could have been a lot closer. So I'd have to expect we're going to see a lot less coming out of Mirko after these 2 pretty big punishes.
So were they all defensive grabs that Basic ducked? I think they were defensive grabs because like the first one that he ducked under was Mirko's back was to the corner, right? He had barely any health left and he went for a throw. That last one, I'm forgetting exactly if it was defensive or it was meant to be a mix-up tool.
The second one was a little bit more of like a mix-up option. The first one was definitely defensive, which is why I said that. Like, sure, yeah, okay, I understand reading a grab and neutral ducking it when it's like you're the one who's waking up, right? But when your opponent is in the corner on defense and you walk up to them and you just neutral duck and bait their grab, like that's an unnecessarily good read. But like I said, unnecessarily good reads are what is going to be necessary. Oh, did we see a switch?
Changed. So this is what he changed to the last time the Jade was starting to take games off of him 3 days ago.
Yeah, the full Searing Rage variation. It's an actual pre-made variation in the game, of course. This is going to be the highest potential damage that you can get off of Scorpion. Plus, on top of that, it does give you the ability to mix up that 2-1 string like we're seeing right there. Normally, there's a gap after 2-1, or you can just poke after it, but 2-1-3, or sorry, 2-1, 1+3 is a really nice mix-up tool to interrupt that. And yep, that's a lot of damage.
And I don't think he amplified the death spin either, so it could have been more maybe.
But already so much, and yeah, you can already see that this variation is paying off just with the amount of damage, the amount of corner carry, and he really doesn't. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say he doesn't really need the teleport cancels, but he made a really heavy read right there. Maybe just also honestly on muscle memory, but the commitment did not pay off.
Yeah. I was also going to say that the teleports weren't really coming into play, but it looks like they. I guess maybe he just had that hard read like you were talking about, but speaking of hard reads, there's the down 2. He knew he was going to break, so he smartly got the spear buff. That was a great decision because look at how much this is going to do extra.
Oh yeah, especially with this variation, and the 2-1-2 is going to hear the spear buff, but he uses the time to set it up again. And now he only needs 1 hit. Basic does have the fatal blow. Didn't get the conversion from it from the back 2, but now any single hit into it is the potential to kill. Plus on block
frames. Yeah, he has been abusing the plus on block super hard. There hasn't really been a flawless block too, so he's just been kind of able to run pressure a bunch. Oh, I was gonna say a lot of the damage was chip, but now it's crushing blow and armor breakers.
Okay, so that round turned around pretty quickly, let's just say, which is a whole lot of KBs. But all those KBs are off the table. However, Scorpion spent some that round too, so overall just resources spent on both sides. Oh no, big drop.
Yeah, unfortunately, not going to the teleport, but he's going to be able to get this at the very least. No spear buff until maybe the knockdown here. But will he go for it? Yeah. The spear Oki is a little bit too close that I feel like if you go for the spear buff, you're probably getting punished.
Yeah, and you do, I think, end up negative if you do spear into the spear buff, just because it's only a little bit of an advantage. It's not fully enough. So yeah, we see him use it a lot more in times like this, where it's just based off of the distance, and that's gonna be, what was that? 4-3, 4-3, 4-3-2 into the spin. That was perfect. In fact, that might have even been enough for Chip, but that means now just one more game, and we will see Mirko winning back-to-back.
If that was not enough for the chip, that was a crazy confirm. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised because Mirko just keeps reacting to stuff better than anybody else I've ever seen. So
I know, better than I've seen people react offline. Like, it's unbelievable. It's just like he's a robot. It has to be. He has to be a robot. There's no way that that's an actual human with actual human reactions. But it's gonna pay off when you get into situations like that. And so, switching back to the Cabal, so this is gonna be a pretty big change from what we saw in the grand finals in the last brackets. We saw the Jade committed to 100%. This time, Cabal coming back out, and maybe the fact that we're gonna see the Burning Spear here, or the Searing Rage, I should say, overall, might be a little bit worse than the teleport cancels. I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
The problem is Do Basic is all in on the Cabal, right? Because Mirko is up 2 at the moment.
Right.
So he can just change back variation directly after this. So basically Do Basic just has to make this happen. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I had the game count wrong.
Oh wait, yeah, what? Well, actually, I thought, no, it's 2 for Mirko, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2 for Mirko. Maybe I'm wrong. But
we'll get confirmation in a bit. I'm
sure. Okay, there we go. Yeah, 2 for Mirko. So just needs one more win here, but yeah, like you said, this is a lock into the Cabal. So even if this variation doesn't work out, however, I feel like this variation is actually quite good in this matchup because this is such a high damage matchup that getting the extra damage that you're seeing right here, 331 for 1 bar, is going to help a whole lot. And again, the big risks. Didn't have the meter to convert. Maybe that's why he took a bigger risk.
Yeah, if he had the meter, that would have been dead, so. 5%, this is basically chip at this range with the disc spin. Yeah, it didn't even matter. The down 1. Mirko, tournament point here.
Yeah, like you said, the death spin was just like complete overkill right there, and you can see why it's actually a useful option, but of course he didn't need it. However, he might use it this time. Nice big conversion. This is going to be corner position. Oh, no, it's not. Of course, he's going to use the full combo.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, he is like, deal as much damage as possible, but there's the instant jump kick.
Oh, the staggers. Plus unblock, but he just chooses to back up. Oh my gosh, these staggers. Oh, he made the hard read there, and that is going to be a really, really big punish. Absolute max damage.
Too slow.
And the corner. Okay, yeah. Marion, wake up. Immediate reversal throw.
Oh, he tried to bait something, walking forwards and walking backwards. Oh, big conversion. I think that's going to be it. I feel pretty confident that Mirko knows that, which is why he went for the 1-1 and a fatal blow. Just going to wait for the final hit before I say anything, and that is definitely it, as Mirko will be a repeat champion. Not only the Week 4 winner for March, but also the monthly final champion. And he is looking like the #1 player to stop in the Open Series, and I don't know if anybody at this current time can do it. The closest we had was Acid Amatsu earlier in the day, but just wasn't quite able to. So Mirko with Scorpion, such a dominating force.